Welcome to the next live session. Tara Pilling, one of our founders and my good friend, my dear friend. I'm so glad to be on with you and just to be introducing you. And because this is your area of genius, we're going to be talking today about finding your deepest why. And so Tara was brought into this team at the inception of this, which is about 2 months ago. And can you believe it, Tara? This whole event came together in, I think it's less than 2 months. And she actually worked with all of our core team and even our volunteers around going deep within. Why do you do what you do? What's most important to you? And so this session is all about that. Tara, thank you so much for your work and for being part of this and for what you're about to lead us into.
Well, and thank you, Josh. And I have to say that Josh really was the force that brought us all together. So I want to just thank you, Josh. And I just see you and I recognize just what an incredible heart you have. And I feel just so honored to be here, part of this whole event and the team and all of you that are participating. Just listening to Joshua, I could feel, where he was like, man, I've just kind of gone blank. All that love. There's just so much love and gratitude. And this opportunity really to share as we move forward, really focusing on solutions is key. Because if we stay stuck in this place of fear and doom and gloom and feeling like isolated and powerless, we are going to just keep creating the same story. And so now it's time to step out of that and to move towards, again, the life, the results, the planet, everything that we want to create, because we are the creator and the co-creator as we move forward. So I'm just so honored to be here with everyone. So thank you.
Now, this is going to be an interactive experience. You're going to lay the groundwork and the foundation and talk about this work, but then we're going to stop the talking and actually do. We're going to connect with another participant using the live connect technology. And as mentioned in the opening ceremony, we are kind of pioneering this technology at this scale. So there might be some bugs, but we were testing it this week and it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing how we can put our intention in and connect with another, have a live video conversation with another participant in real time and really just integrate this whole experience. But to bring it back to the why, Tara, maybe just really take the floor and get into that. Guide us through this process. Why is it important to know your deepest why? What is the functional benefit of what we're going to dive into in the next 45 minutes?
Okay, so I think key, even before we get into the why, is really to know what you want. And I know Joshua had touched on that. I think that many of us know what we don't want. We don't want to focus on what we don't want, because when you understand the universal laws that govern you, and by the way, these laws work to mathematical precision. When you focus on what you don't want, you keep attracting more of what you don't want. So we want to focus on, what do we want? And the great news is when you know what you don't want, you can flip that. You can say, well, I know I don't want to feel this way. Like, I don't want to feel crappy. I don't want to feel heavy. There's a lot of talk about people that have, kind of gotten out of shape and they're not feeling good. So you know what you don't want. Flip that into, what do you want? What do you want as you move forward? And it is so important. The purpose of knowing what you want, the purpose of goals, is because it gives you direction. And I think, like, one thing to highlight is that, less than 13% of people on the planet have goals. And out of that 13%, less than 3% write their goals down. And so you want to be thinking about goals, and you want to be writing your goals down. And even in the workbook, I want to encourage you all again to print out this incredible workbook. And you'll see that we even have a page that you can print out and you can cut out your goals. You can cut out a goal card. And I want to encourage you to do that and actually write down your goal, because people that are focused on a goal, they're successful people. They're moving towards something. You know, it was Solomon who said, where there is no vision, the people will perish. The goal gives you a vision. It gives you direction. And goals are not there to get. Goals are to grow. Goals are to discover something inside of you maybe that you didn't even know existed. We are goal achieving beings. And it is so important at this time, especially, to bring more of you to the world. What do you want? What do you want to create? I know that many people right now, there's a lot of talk about, having to leave their place of work, or, living in a certain way that they're not feeling good. Well, there's no better time than right now to go, well, what is my deepest desire? Like, what would I love to do? What do I want to create? How do I want to live with other people? How do I want to live in my body? What kind of habits do I want to have? It is so important right now to do that and to really go within and start exploring. And I mean, this is a really big thing. Like, what do you want? Have you sat down in silence, and have you thought, what do I really want? What is my deepest heart's desire? You have purpose. You are important. And just like the film, which I love, The Gathering, um, everything that you need, it's inside of you. And so a goal just draws that out so that you can really show up the way that you're meant to. And each and every person has purpose. Each and every person matters. And there is no better time to really start focusing on what you want and making those changes than right now. And it is important when you start thinking about what you want to get really clearly defined. The universal laws that respond to your thoughts are things, they respond to the clarity. The opposite of clarity, which is what we're experiencing right now on this planet, is a lot of chaos, drama, right? Chaos, drama, and it's not working. So we got to create more clarity. What do you want? And
That's so key. I just want to jump in if I could, Tara. That's so key for us as people who are awake, and because we've all done and are doing the deep dive into the chaotic, into the shadow. We have a spark that drives us to just want to know the truth and to align with the truth. We might get overwhelmed or anxious or frustrated, and then the next day we wake up and that life force, that spark, that inner drive is pulling us through this compression, right? So I have just recently, and through our connection and collaboration, realized how important it is specifically for us who are awake to add more structure into our mind, to create and align with what we want to experience, to have a vision and not just, try to be putting out fires or trying to, externalize the problem entirely and march and rally and express our anger, which is a necessary part of it. We need to feel the anger. We need to feel the grief and the frustration and all that. But the vision, like, what do we want? Is that maybe what the deepest invitation is for all of us right now, is to clarify that?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, when you look at the stages of awakening, the first stage is victim consciousness. And I think that we're seeing just how the masses are stuck in victim consciousness. And I think all of us, no matter where we're at, we kind of hop back and forth and we can relate to that space. Victim consciousness is, this is being done to me. Why me? We're going to get nowhere if we keep asking that question. What if? And that's a great way to phrase everything. What if? What if this is for me? What if there's an opportunity being presented to me right now? I believe that our Creator loves us and wants us to thrive and is always supporting and divinely guiding us. It's just that we have to get quiet. We have to get still. And we have to take that time to sit in reflection and to get out into the forest and to connect with others, to really start exploring again that the deeper vision of and the dream of why am I here? How do I want to leave this planet? How do I want people to remember me? What do I want them to say at my eulogy? And you want to start thinking of these things, because it is, I believe that there is no greater time than right now. And we are being asked, we literally were, kind of sent to our room, and we are sent to this place and asked to go more within. And it is time to go inside and ask yourself these really important and really big questions. What do I want? And as we're going to give you an opportunity to use Glimpse and to meet up with another person. You're going to be divinely guided to another person to just even ask them, like, what do you want? When you look at your life personally and professionally, what would you like to create at this time? And there's no right or wrong. I mean, the purpose of a goal is something you slowly discover. And so just start wherever you are is the suggestion that I would give to you, and allow yourself to go inside and to listen to those little divine nudges. I mean, that's what we all did when we created this event. This has never been done this way before. So, and we threw it together, but we listened and we got really clear. Again, when there's no clarity, there's chaos, drama, and clutter. That is going to move you in the opposite direction. So clean all that up. Clean all of that up and go more inside. And then the next step is to ask yourself some important questions around, well, why? So maybe the goal is, well, I want to be my ideal weight, and I want to live in partnership and make it be a part of a positive impact on this planet. I'm just going to use that as an example. You've got to know your deeper why, because if you don't know your deeper why, your genetic and environmental programming, we just call it a paradigm, it will take you sideways. And we're just seeing how thick that is right now. It's right in our faces. So we have to have that bigger why that's going to keep us focused when the paradigm, when that genetic and environmental programming comes in and says, well, who do you think you are? Oh, this is going to be hard. And I know each and every one of us in the event had a lot of different challenges. So we had to connect and know, well, why are we doing this? And there's this saying, and you've probably heard that in the self-development world, like, your why has to make you cry. Like, you have to feel it. It has to be just something that just, you're like, whew. And I want to encourage you. And this can be a place of feeling, vulnerable. That is where the magic and miracles happen. I mean, as humans, we got to start really tapping in and showing up as our Creator intended us to. And it is so important. I can't express that enough, to have your goal, know what you want. Write it down, by the way. Write it down every day. Get it on paper. Get your goal card, print it out. And to know that deeper why, and to take steps, because without action, nothing's going to change. It's just like this event. There's going to be so many incredible speakers. I mean, I think we have 80 or so, huh, Josh?
It's pretty crazy how many are part of this.
80 incredible speakers and teachers and leaders and, trailblazers. They're going to be giving you all this incredible information. And it's important that you know, well, why are you here? Like, what do you want? And that deeper why of why you want that. But it's about taking action, just little steps every day. What can I do? How can I do 1% better today, moving towards what I want and that bigger why than yesterday? So it doesn't have to be, these big leaps, although it can happen that way. What can I just start doing to close that gap? Because there's a big difference between knowing about a thing and actually living that and closing that gap. And it is action. You've got to take action. So when I say, pull out your workbook, print it, and we say, write out your goal. do this practice with another incredible individual, because we've been isolated. This is a time to come together, to realize that we're all together in this, and to go through this incredible process. It's called the 7 levels deep.
Yeah. And so this is what you and I did a couple, probably about 3 weeks ago, right? And so I just wanted to speak on that from my experience, and like my experience, both myself and with other members of our team, and just in general, people that have done this process. Like, what percentage of time do you think people get emotion and tears coming up?
Yeah, I think that the first,
Like I did.
yeah. And everybody did, right? And I knew, well, that's exactly where you need to be. That's great. And,
Yeah.
and it was such an honor. And it really is a privilege to meet up with another individual and guide them through this process. So you want to hold space, and you want to just be this space of love for that other person. But when you start asking, well, why is this important to you? You know, once you know what you want, why is this important to you? Those first couple whys, as the person answers. And I knew that with you, Josh, are going to be very surface. A lot of people, what they bring up is, oh, I want to do this for my kids, or, you know, and that's important, but I still find that that's really surface. And it's interesting as you go, I find kind of it's about 3/4 the way through, the person will start to feel the emotion. You know, you're going in the right direction when you start feeling the emotion. That's where the good stuff is. Because when you get to that 7th why, it's like, yeah, like the 7th why might be something like, yeah, I experienced a lot of suffering and somebody helped me, and I want to share this with others. And you're just like, whoa. And yeah, your kids are still part of it. Your kids are still part of that why, but going to the deepest part of the why is so essential. You have to feel it. Neville Goddard, he often talked about the feeling being the secret. The feeling is part of your subconscious mind. That's why Joshua was saying that your heart and mind, they're one, they're connected, but it's the subconscious part of your mind, which, by the way, lives in every cell of your body. So you got to feel that. When you're not feeling good, and I know a lot of you have not been feeling good, and you know, the team and I, like, we just send our love out to you, and we hope that you're going to be here with us, because when we don't feel good, we're going in the wrong direction. We've gotten lost. We're focused on the wrong things. But when we feel good, and when we're moving towards a goal, a dream, a vision, a bigger purpose, you're on purpose. Like this is why we're here. And that's why we said we are here, and the time is now.
Yeah. And it's not that you don't have periods of time in which you feel, you know, you don't feel good. Sorry, let me say that again. It's not that you never feel bad. It's that you have an anchor point, right? And you can move through those periods to do that shadow work and actually transform.
Yeah, and I think it's the awareness, right? Like, we have to feel all the feelings for sure.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with, you know, a depression's going to come in and you're going to have these moments, but it's the awareness of, oh, what am I emotionally involved in? So when you don't feel good, you're emotionally involved in usually a bad idea. So you'd go through that process. And then again, having a goal keeps you focused. Having that deeper why is like, you know why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a direction, you're like a boat without a rudder. I don't know. Have you ever been in a boat? Like, we have canoes. And I remember my son forgot to put the rudder in. And man, you just go in circles. You just get nowhere. And that is an exhausting place. I think that that's why many people on this planet are feeling overwhelmed, and why mental health and addiction is at an all-time high. As humans, as spiritual beings having this human experience, we are meant to live on purpose. We're meant to be we're goal orientated. So it's so important that we have goals, clearly defined goals, because just think, the universe is responding to your thought energy. So you want to be very clear in what you want and why you want that.
And so it's not about, I want to clarify this something because I feel this question in me and in perhaps some of our audience. It's not about exclusively saying, it's me, I'm going to create this and I'm going to like use that sort of like striving or push energy. I mean, for me, where the bridging really happens effectively is doing this with prayer, right? And I know you talk about your relationship with God and you're praying over the goal card that's in the playbook that download and print out. There's a page that has the goal card there, and you can print that out and then cut it and write on it and laminate it, look at it every day. And thank you for bringing that to our awareness. But this is really, it's combining that prayerful meditative like service with, I'm going to put this into action. And I know that part of the responsibility, or the stewardship of this life is to be a co-creator, is not to be pulsed upon, as Dion Vamal says, but to pulse upon our environment from a place of service and that heart connection that you talk about. So I just felt I wanted to address that because I know that's a key part of your work, is that conscious aspect. So there's 3 things that I'm feeling we can.
Well, and Josh, can I just
so
respond
please.
to that? Especially because, like, even with, I mean, we're all here together. There's a saying, you have to do it yourself and you can't do it alone. That's why Creator put all of us together. We need each other. And so when you have a goal, a big dream, that's how you magnetize other people that are on the same frequency, the same vibration. That's law of vibration, law of attraction. You magnetize. So we need each other. And I think it's so important to recognize, yes, we have our goals, we have our personal goals, and we drop into our bigger whys, but we don't have to do it by ourselves. Our Creator didn't intend for us to do it ourselves. And this is why it's so important to connect, to be here, because we need others. And I just think that's really important to share, Josh. And I'm so grateful that you brought that up. And the power of prayer. My mentor, Bob Proctor, he always says that prayer is when you talk to God, but your intuition is when God's talking to you. And that's those little divine nudges, right? Where Josh was like, I got to reach out to Tara, and I got to reach out to Devin, and I got to get Alec, and Mike. And then all of a sudden, here we are, 80,000 plus people that have opted into this event. That is how the law of vibration and the law of attraction brought us together.
Beautiful.
So I wanted to share that.
Thank you. So there's 2 main questions that are part of this process. And maybe before we get into, in a few minutes, Mike Winner is going to come on and demo for us how to actually use the Live Connect, the Glimpse software technology. And then we'll get into it for 15 minutes. We'll have an experience with another participant. But before that, I wanted just to do a share screen here if we could, and just look at just this. So this is the process that we're going to be doing. And then maybe after this, Tara, you and I could, you could do it with me for a few minutes. Would that be cool?
Yeah, we could. And I think that's going to be great for all of our viewers, because then you're going to actually see me guide Josh through it. And because this is what we really want to encourage you, especially at this time where we haven't been able to gather, to meet up with someone and actually do this process. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, we're just so happy you're here. Do this process on your own, and just take the time and go inside and ask yourself the questions.
Okay, so your deepest why. So 7 minutes each. It'll be a 15-minute total session. It'll actually be 10 minutes by default, but one of you has to add time. There's a little button in the upper right, click add time, and you'll get another 5 minutes. And so partner 1 says, what do you really want? And then just listens and holds space. Partner 2 is, don't overthink it. Tara, maybe I'll let you go through this process.
Yeah, your partner is going to say, well, what do you really want? And hopefully at this point, you're already thinking about this. Like, even just as I'm sharing, like, what are some of the things that you really want? What do you want to create? And so your partner is going to ask you that. And then the 7 whys, are you just going to keep asking? You're going to hold space and let them share. And you're just going to ask, well, why is this important to you? Right? Why is this important to you? So they're going to answer. You're going to pause. And then you're going to say to that response, well, why is this important to you? And so you're going to make sure that you do that 7 times. It's really key. There's this magic number, and it's 7 times you're going to go through this process. And you could, when you're doing this process with someone, when you start feeling that emotion, you could let your partner know, or you could even, as the partner leading, you could say, so are you starting to feel this? The feeling, again, is the secret. So once you're starting to feel it, oh, I'm starting to access that deeper why. This is the good stuff. Now, there's no right or wrong in this. I would encourage you to do this many times. On your own and with partners. You're not working with a coach or a mentor like myself. So just hold space and allow that person to share. And then you're going to switch partners. And so just be very mindful. You might even want to set a timer, because you're going to be in that space. You have that 15 minutes. And like Josh said, you're just going to have to add some time, but set a timer so that you each get some time to go through your why, and just trust that it's all perfect in the end. And exchange information, maybe even at the very beginning, like a cell phone or some way that you can text or be in touch. So if you don't complete that process, maybe you can jump on afterwards, and you can do the process with them. So that's what it's going to look like.
And then you can each partner can take notes on the other's levels, right? Like really short point form, and then take a picture of that and send it to them. Mm-hmm. And now you have somebody that you just went deep with that can be your accountability partner, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just like Josh said, just take a picture. And I think everybody has like an iPhone or a phone or a smartphone or something. That's the best way, is probably to just exchange your number and just shoot that off to them, because this is a really powerful process. I mean, even just taking the time to get quiet, and I would encourage you to spend more time on this after, of course, but for the time that we have, asking yourself that question, what do I want?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much gold there. And so you might just take something really simple through this process. Maybe it is that you've gained some excess, layers, and you want to lose that. And it might be, well, I want to be my ideal weight and I want to feel better. That's a really easy one to work with. Well, yeah. Why? Why is this important to you? And you're just going to ask that 7 times. So
yeah. And it might be, I want it, like for me, I mean, we can get into this, but I want my own home and to own land on which I can farm, and that's a pretty deep why. I'm just going to give a few more seconds. If the audience, if you want to hit print screen or get a screen capture of this, and then you could refer to it later. Do that now if you're going to do that. I think after the talk, we will also get this up as a comment down below on this talk page. So look for comments, and we'll get this up there as a Dropbox link. So, okay, so I'll stop sharing.
And Josh, I'll just mention, I see there's a question here that the goal card in our bonuses is the wrong version. You just have to scroll down. So there is a gratitude journal there, because we know that gratitude is the magic of attracting more of what you do want. But the goal card's a little bit further down on the right. And Mike Winner, he is our guy, and he can probably guide you, but it is there. But it's also in the workbook. It's on like the 3rd page. So print out the workbook and you're going to have access to the gold card. And again, you can do that in between sessions or after. But for now, just pull out a pen and a piece of paper.
Okay, excellent. So we got, just managing time, we got about 4 minutes for this, what you and I are going to do. Then Mike Winner's going to come on for about 4 minutes and show visually exactly how to use the software. It's very, very simple. And then we're going to do that 15-minute count. We actually have a countdown thing. We'll share screen on that. And our amazing teammate, Mike Cardamone, put that together for us. So okay, Tara, I will be your pupil here, and let's do this.
Okay, so Josh,
not pupil, but that's the wrong word, right? Because we're meeting together.
Yeah, it's a meeting of minds.
Yep.
We're here together, meeting of minds and hearts. So Josh, what do you want?
I want to see a world transformed by truth, love, and grace and freedom.
Okay, so your partner's going to write it down. By truth, sorry, a world transformed by truth,
Love, grace, and freedom.
so good. You said you didn't want to go too deep. Boy, that's a big one. I love it. Okay, so my suggestion, even as you write this down, because you're going to be writing this down and the person's going to be taking it in, I am so happy and grateful now that I see a world that is transformed by truth, love, grace, and freedom. I am happy and grateful because it's already happening. You write it in the present tense, lots of high vibe emotions and feelings. This is great. So Josh, why is this important to you?
Because life and freedom are essential. That there's just an inherent value of expression of being that needs to be protected at this time.
So why is this important to you?
Tara, don't make me cry. I don't want to cry.
You're all ready, huh?
Okay.
So
why
good.
is this important to me? I really feel that we have a duty and responsibility for future generations, and for me as a dad, for my daughter,
Right.
to preserve their future.
So why is this important to you?
Because they deserve to be free and to enjoy life.
And so why is this important to you?
I'm feeling a little bit of resistance just continuing to go deep in this sort of open way right now.
Well, it's because you're already really deep. And Josh and I have done this process together, and so has the whole team. So why is freedom important to you, Josh? And freedom for not just you, but your daughter. Why is it important?
It feels like it's important because there's a goodness that comes inherent with natural law and like God's law, and freedom is inherent in that. I know that's in some ways the first answer I gave or something, but it just is. It's important that I feel free. I haven't felt free myself, always, and still struggle with that. And I want to have that freedom so that then I can support and be part of others on that awakening and freedom journey.
And why is that important to you?
Because I want to feel like included, accepted, and part of something that's bigger than me. And that love, that two-way love that comes with that. Like that, I want to make that real and expand that further into my reality. It's already real, but you know what I mean?
Wow. There you go. And you said to me before this call, I don't know if I don't want to end up crying, right? And going to that vulnerable space, but you did, Josh. And I just want to honor you for doing that because, hey, for all of you out there, this is where the magic happens. Like this is powerful. And Josh, your seventh why is to really feel a part of something that is much bigger than yourself. And
to feel the oneness,
yeah,
including the oneness with life and with our creator, and just to feel that sense of home. That just coming
so
back
how does
to that
that
again.
feel? Can you feel that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, and you've been feeling that, like you hit that probably by about like 3, because we have done this before. And so Josh, this is awesome. And I hope all of the viewers out there just see, it's just asking that simple question, right? Why is this important to you? And so I see the chat just blowing up. People are like, respect, Josh. This is so good. It's so good. And so I want to invite all of you that are going to jump on this Glimpse technology, and Mike Winner, our guy, who is just amazing, is going to show you how to use this. But I want to invite you all to really hold this sacred space for each other. And if there's resistance to do this, just notice this. But the the very thing usually you resist is where you need to go. You know, what's the saying? The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
It's beautiful. Tara, thank you so much just for holding space for me and for all of us. I just appreciate that and what you bring and what we're tapping into.
And I did the same practice, and it was life transforming for me about a month ago, and found my way. So for those suffering out there, this I know can be daunting to like take this on, but it really works. So and hopefully we all leave after these 5 days with a much greater understanding of that why. So Tara, thanks so much. You've literally transformed my life since I've met you, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you.
Mike, we're gonna we'll do a screen share. I just want to frame the time. We've got about 3 minutes. You're going to demo the Glimpse technology, and then people will be able to go click the Live Connect button on the main menu, right? That's where they're going to do this.
Yeah, we actually had a total snafu. It wasn't working 5-10 minutes ago, and my developers got in there and fixed it. So I think we're good.
Divine timing.
God, literally, God is on our side right now, guys. It's pretty wild. So I'm gonna hit share and walk you all through it. Okay.
And the one thing I'll say about this is we're initiating this now at this time, but anytime during the event, in the next 5 days, and if you're watching on anything that follows that, people can jump into the Live Connect and get connected with another soul. So take it away, Mike.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you're technologically, if there's some stuff that comes up for you, because I can relate, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Just do this practice on your own and just ask yourself these questions. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, guys, and technology is a tool. We're using it for our benefit, right? So here we go. We'll do this real quick here. Share screen. Okay, so homepage here, you're going to see Live Connect. You're going to click that, and that's going to take you to our Live Connect page on our website here. And you'll see the interface. Go ahead and click Continue as Guest. You're going to put your name. A one-liner, something about yourself. Awesomest dude ever. Awesomest, is that a real word? And then hit next. Add a picture if you can, so people can see what you look like when they're perusing. And and then you hit next. And then all you do is click Join Live Event. Very important. Click this button, Join Live Event. Your camera and microphone. Another thing. And then you want to put on the right settings there, so you can click the Change Mic Camera Settings. And so I want to put my camera on. And then, so once you're set, once you see yourself, I'm ready to rock now. And then what's going to do with Miri in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Miri know she's about to be seen by the entire summit? I don't know. We'll see here. So we're connecting, fingers crossed. So when you have a picture there up here, Miri. Crossed. Okay. So when you have a picture there. Anyways,
hello, I think we're alone here.
Wait, I'm going to end that. Anyways. Okay, so does that make sense, guys? Sorry, Miri. So that's what it is. It's like so basically, as Josh said, you'll get 10 minutes to connect and do
15,
the work.
15 minutes, but 10 minutes initially. So you got to hit the button for more time.
That's what I was getting to. So hit the button that'll extend the 5 minutes. I didn't show that, Josh, but it should be pretty obvious there. If you do have any questions, hit us up in chat or hit us up in support. We do have people in the chat from our team. You'll see me in there as an admin. There are other admins. We're working on getting that them showing up better. They're in there. We're here to support you. So we love y'all. Have fun with this. Use it to connect. Of course, we have our Telegram community too you can jump into, and we have a community in there you can connect with and on the comments. But let's use this throughout the weekend and have fun with it.
Tara, as we get started here, any final words? And are we going to come back after the 15 minutes?
Yeah, we'll come back quickly just to close out, but I would just say you got 15 minutes. Have fun. If something happens and you're having a difficult time, just play with this and do the practice. See you on the other side, everybody. Okay, here we are. Josh, you're on mute.
Okay,
We're back.
we're back.
Okay, so we're going to close this session up. I just want to encourage you to do this process again with somebody or even just on your own. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm just trying
That's okay.
There.
We're getting used to all this technology, so it's great. And you know, the purpose in your deeper why and going those 7 layers deep is to get out of your head. I mean, most of us are living in our head all the time. There's a saying, when you're in your head, you're dead. So we want to really start living. We want to connect to our heart. And so as you go deeper in the 7 levels of asking that question, why, you're going to connect more to your heart. And just Josh, again, as you experienced leading Josh to this process, there's a lot of emotion. That's a sign you're going in the right direction. So I'm just so grateful to be here with you all. And thank you, Josh, for being just such a great person to do this process with, another incredible man to just have this opportunity. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Tara, for this. And thank you for participating. It's all about your participation, all about the inside job, so to speak, and the outer then comes from that so beautifully and naturally as I'm learning, as we're all on this journey, we're all figuring out this shift. So blessings to everyone out there, and we'll see you on the next session.